Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I feel like I say that every time, but this time I have some pretty valid excuses for being gone. So I have a list on my phone here that I'm going to go through and let you guys know where I've been, what I've been up to, what's going on, the whole thing. So here we go. I'm going to go through some updates and then I'll insert some photos and some videos of the stuff that I talk about so that you guys can see what happened. So the last time that I got on with you guys, it was Mother's Day weekend. It was our birthday party and I was a basket case. But the day ended up being great. Mother's Day was great. So that was Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday of that week, Wednesday, I wasn't really feeling that good. And I just thought, I go through some spells sometimes of nausea. And I think a lot of the time it has contributed in the past to just having anxiety. For a little while I was on medication for anxiety, but I think a lot of it was situational at the time that I was really on it heavily. I was going through a breakup. I had just a lot going on in my life. And I had a lot of symptoms of like gastro stuff, nausea, upset stomach, just those type of things. So when I had it this time, I just kind of brushed it off to maybe I'm just having like a nausea spell. Really no rhyme or reason. I've stopped taking medication. I've been off of it for about 6 months now. Just again, because I felt like it was mostly situational and I felt like I was in a good place to be able to stop it. So I do still have little bouts of, you know, those symptoms, but nothing significant. I couldn't pinpoint like why I would be feeling that way. Nothing was going on. The only thing that I kept pushing it off to was that a week after that, 2 weeks after our birthday party, we were leaving to go on our big trip, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But I just kept brushing it off to maybe that's what it was. I wasn't sure. And one night we were laying in bed, and it was Thursday night. So our birthday was on Saturday, the following Thursday. We were laying in bed, and I just got like this really bad cramp on my side. Like something I had never felt before. It just felt like a gas pain on my right side. And it all happened just so quick that I was laying here. I had this really weird pain. I woke up Justin and he's like, well, do you want to take Tylenol? And I just felt like this seems so dramatic that this is like a gas pain, but it's something that I've never felt before. And I don't think Tylenol is going to help it. So within the matter of probably like 10 minutes, I went to the bathroom and I was just TMI sitting on the toilet, and all of a sudden I was just like, I'm gonna get sick. And so I started throwing up, and that was kind of sealed the deal that I wanted to go to the emergency room, because I kind of was trying to not do that. I'm not the person that runs to the emergency room. I've only ever been there twice in my whole life. And I just wanted to kind of wait it out, but I just knew, like, I listened to my body that something's wrong. So we get to the hospital. Of course, it took forever to get a room, even though it looked like nobody was in there. And come to find out, they did have like 2 emergencies before we got there. So anyways, I got sick several more times in the waiting room. It was embarrassing. All I wanted was something to drink. I couldn't have anything to drink because they wanted to do testing. I couldn't pee because I was out of pee. And the long story short of all this is that I had a kidney stone. So if you've ever had a kidney stone, it is the worst thing in the world. Some people say that it's worse than giving birth to a child. I don't know. I have not had any kids, but if that's the case, when we do have one, I'm going to be golden, I think. I don't know. It's one thing I never want again. I hope none of you have ever had it. If you haven't, pray that you don't. But, it was a 5mm kidney stone. Actually, after they started doing all the tests, I finally got into a room. The pain started to subside, and that was because it had passed from one place to the other. But it was like excruciating pain. I was sick, and I just had nothing to throw up. No pee wanted to come out. It was terrible. So anyways, they sent me home with pain medication and a strainer to strain my pee every time I went to try and pass it. Because whenever I did pass it, they wanted me to take it to a urologist to be evaluated and the whole thing. So that weekend we ended up going out on the boat, and I had to bring the strainer with me. Every time I went to pee, I had to strain my pee. So that happened overnight on Thursday into Friday. The following Friday, we were leaving for our big trip. And Wednesday night, overnight into Thursday morning, Cash woke me up to go to the bathroom like 5 o'clock in the morning. And while I was up, I went pee, and I almost didn't use the strainer because I was half asleep. I didn't want to do anything, and of course I did it, and the stone was there. I had a celebration. I woke up the whole house. It's pathetic, but if you've ever had one of these things, you understand. So I ended up passing it, and I was so happy because we were literally leaving Friday morning to go on our trip, and I did not want to be outside of the country in some weird place, weird location, weird in the word that anywhere but my house. I didn't want to be whenever it passed. So since then, since we've actually been back from our trip, skipping ahead a little bit, I've gone to the urologist. I had the stone. They've sent it to be evaluated. I have to do some type of testing in like 6 months. She gave me some different things that I could do with my diet, but it really wasn't anything different, I don't feel like, than what I normally would eat or drink, and really not any guidelines, just more if you ate certain types of food that I need to drink more water to flush it out of my system. So that's where we are with that. Luckily, whenever we were gone, I didn't have any other symptoms of any of that happening again, because leaving, I didn't have an appointment for the urologist. So the entire time that we were gone, I was just paranoid about eating certain things, drinking certain things. I didn't know what was going to cause that again. So anyways, that passed. And on the Friday morning, we left to go to, we were starting our trek to Europe. We had to go through LA. I used points to book our flight, so we had to fly far. We were in Florida. We had to go out of the way to go to London. We were in Florida. We had to go out of the way to go to London, but the way it all worked out, we ended up would have getting there at the same time. However, our plane in LA, the engine wouldn't start whenever we were going to leave. So that was lovely, knowing that we had like a 9-hour flight over water and the engine wouldn't start. So with that, after we had spent the day in LA, we had like another layover. They ended up finding us another plane. We had to deplane, get on another plane, the whole thing, to make it to Europe. By the time that we got over there, we didn't have time to spend in London, which is what we planned on doing for the day. So we ended up taking a long Uber ride. We were rushing from London Heathrow to Gatwick Airport. It's about like an hour difference, but that's about the time that we had to get on our next plane to get to Milan. So, not Milan, Madrid, Spain. And once we got to Madrid, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday into Sunday. So we had been traveling since Friday morning. We were up at 4 o'clock our time in Tampa, and then we weren't into our final first Europe destination until overnight Saturday. We spent Sunday in Madrid. We did a little bit of touring and stuff like that. And the next morning we took a train to Barcelona, where our cruise was going to leave out of. We did a 15-day cruise on Carnival Venezia. I'm going to be posting several videos of that just separately, just so that whole trip can kind of be in its own little video. But we were on the inaugural sailing, and on that sailing we sailed with the CEO of Carnival and also Emeril Lagasse and the CEO of Carnival were on there. So that was cool. They did a few Q&A sessions in the theater. So they did one with Emeril and asked him different questions about cooking and stuff like that. He's like the chef of all the chefs on all of Carnival. So that was very cool. It's a new ship, and so we did the inaugural sailing back from Barcelona back to New York is where it went. So in between all of that, we left from Barcelona. We went to Malaga, Gibraltar, Ponta Delgada. We went to Lisbon, and we went to Halifax, Canada, before finally ending in New York City. Justin had never been in New York City, so we stayed in New York at the tail end of the trip for one night so that we could do some sightseeing, explore a little bit. So our total trip, we left on Friday the 26th of May, and we came home not the next Friday, but the next Wednesday. So we were gone about almost 3 weeks total. It was phenomenal. We had the best time ever. Every port that we went to was beautiful. The ship was beautiful. Just everything. Being gone that long, I wasn't sure how it would go. It was the longest trip that we've ever done together. And just being away for that long was a long time. I feel like it felt longer coming back and having to catch up than it felt when we were like in the moment on the trip. So, that leads me to whenever we were on the trip, I was getting pictures from my mom at our house. So we're building a house. I've mentioned this before. And our house wasn't supposed to be done until October or November of this year. And we found out right whenever we got home that we're actually closing on our house the first week of August. So as you probably know also from my videos, we have been staying with my grandfather. And we have been able to do stuff with him around here. I love being here. I can't wait till we have our new house, but it's just nice to be here with him. I usually make him lunch and dinner every day, and we talk a lot, and it's been a really good experience, but we're ready for our new house. We're not expecting it to be this early. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about Wegovy, because I know that some of you come here for those type of updates. Really, I don't have a big update on it. My symptoms and stuff have stayed the same, which pretty much are nothing since I've been on it. My dosage did get upped one level, but we recently did a at-home test to check Justin's sperm count. Again, I've mentioned this in another video, but he had a vasectomy reversal, and we are trying for a baby, and we just recently found out that his sperm is showing that he's fertile again. So, with Wegovy, it is recommended that you don't take it for 2 months if you're trying to conceive, and finding out that information, and just a combination of finding that out. When we went on our trip, I actually forgot the medicine. I haven't really been taking it, or I haven't taken it. So it's been about a month now. Surprisingly, I don't know how, but when we got home and I weighed myself, I had gained 2 pounds from our cruise. We've been back from our cruise for 2 weeks now, and I have no idea how being gone almost 3 weeks, eating everything on the ship, eating everything I wanted in New York, I still only gained 2 pounds. I thought for sure the scale was going to say like 25. But anyways, I'm taking a step back from it for right now just because of everything else going on. With us trying to have a baby, I just don't want to take any risk with that. So, this past week though, I am still trying to lose weight if I can. On my own, I'm trying to make mindful decisions, but the scale has been in the 180s this week. So, the high 180s, but I'm out of the 190s, and I started at 206. So, I have lost weight. I would like to lose a lot more before I have a baby, but if it doesn't happen, it just is not in the plan, I guess. But anyways, besides that, I am going to go. I just want to let you guys know why I've been gone a month. I had a kidney stone, we went on a trip, and life has just been a little crazy. But besides that, I'm going to try and do this a little bit more often, and hopefully we can add some fun stuff in here. I cannot wait until we get our new house so you guys can see it and see what we do with it and all of that. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below, and make sure you subscribe so you get to stay and watch all the funness. I will see you guys later. Bye.